Thank you
Hello.
for joining us. Yes, I'm Ken Singh, founder and CEO of FlippBidd. Before I get into the demonstration, I'm going to do that within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Just want to tell you a little bit about the application, our journey, why we built it, what it is, and just to give you a little feedback on it. So we started working on this project almost 8 years ago, believe it or not. I knew nothing about building apps back then. My background's in software and technology. Phil worked for investment banks. I sold software to investment banks. And it really came out of necessity. I was on the other side where I was an investor. I was also what I guess they call bird dog nowadays. I didn't know there was a term for it. I just called myself a middleman. I had a huge network where people came to me to find deals, off market private deals, and investors were searching for deals with meat on its bones, whether there were, assignment of contracts, short sales, private deals and everything in between. Over time they started drying, the deal started drying out, and I realized that we could probably build something with our network here in the Northeast. Long story short, the application evolved into something really, really cool. I didn't even think it was going to look like this. We didn't even have the vision for this back then. But in today, what we have is an application that's on live on App Store and Google Play. And for those of you that have not done so, that QR code that you're seeing behind me and the one that I'm sharing allows you to download it for free. So please do that while you're listening. But now the application really has gotten its feet, and has really turned into something very special, which allows users to do acquisitions, dispositions, property research data on the fly. And now, and Drew, I'm not sure if you're on here, but we've partnered up with LEADZOLO, and we are building out distressed property search filters through our Polygon search, which we'll get into, which allows you now to do lead generation. So that's the fourth bucket. And the fifth bucket, my COO always reminds me, Ken, we don't have 4 buckets, we have 5 buckets, because I keep forgetting we've onboarded and integrated literally via code national lenders. We're at like 4 right now. There's more coming on board. They have, I think, 20 plus investor friendly products to be able to refinance, get a loan, hard money. Well, I don't like calling it hard money, private money loans, fix and flip, HELOCs, DSCRs, and so on. So, and everything in between. And you can do that on the fly. And we're going to show you how to do that. So with that said, um, the application is really cool. I'm going to share my screen and take down. Does anybody need a few more minutes to scan this code? Is everybody good? Just give me a thumbs up if you did it. The thumbs down if you need. I don't know if you still need to, but if you need like 30 more seconds, I'm going to take this down shortly. But now, the application I'm going to share with you is on App Store, is on Google Play. We have all intentions of building out a web app. That's a question that we get all the time, and which probably will come out in the next few minutes. Do we have a desktop version? We are in the midst of building out the screens and thinking and putting some thought behind it, which is probably going to have a CRM sort of technology as well as virtual tours. The technology is tremendous that we're building out. It does take some time, and we have all intentions of bringing that out by the end of the year, latest by Q1. We're trying to figure out a date approximately. With that said, let me minimize this. So today's webinar, we have to give credit where credit is due. You guys are Drew Carroll's, fans and clients and subscribers to LEADZOLO, and they've done a tremendous job, and kudos to Drew, and big shout out to his team for building an amazing motivated seller technology to be able to gather all that information for homeowners that are raising their hands and saying, yes, please help me dispo this deal. Well, get me a buyer, get me someone who can get this contracted. So what we did was we thought that it was a mutually beneficial partnership. We decided to go into bed with each other. So this way, as you can see, we can now, after downloading FlippBidd and registering it, you can now 10x your leads with LEADZOLO. I want to show you exactly how you do that. Like, you're probably saying, Ken, what do you mean? I see this 10x thing all the time. But no, literally, you'll be able to, if not 20x, maybe 30x. It really depends on what market you're searching in. Now it's up to you to negotiate and secure the contract once you get that lead, but you can always just come back to FlippBidd and dispo it. And I'll show you how to do that in under 30 seconds. You could dispo the deal and then, of course, have verified investors connect with you directly. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. So let's just hold up all the questions to the end. There's going to be a tremendous amount of questions. I want to hear and answer each and every one. But with that said, let me go ahead and share my screen. So this application that I'm sharing with you, I'm sharing on my iOS device. Yes, in my industry, I believe it or not, I have 4 phones. I have 2 Androids and two iPhones because there's a lot of testing that happens in the background. This is an iPhone, and here is FlippBidd. We're going to go right into it. And FlippBidd is something very unique that a lot of people, when they hear about it, they're like, oh, great, this, just another, probably another lead generation source, or it's another CRM, or it's probably just another a data warehouse you're connecting to for like off-market private deals. No, what I'm actually doing, and I'll show you with my fingers right here, all I'm doing is just navigating from city to city. Here's New York, that's our backyard with deals in the background. I'm just using my thumb to move around, right? And so we tried to make this very unique for you guys, right? We wanted to make it interactive. We wanted to make it immersive. We wanted to make it user friendly and be able to create all these awesome features that we've been talking about in a vertically integrated application that's not going to waste your time, waste your energy, and we're definitely helping you save money because we literally are giving this away at cost, and we'll get into that in a second. But this is New York, right? So if you want to go ahead and travel from city to city, it's very easy. This is our field search, index search for areas and markets. So if you decided to go to Phoenix, you just put in Phoenix, Arizona, it'll pop right in there. And here is Phoenix, Arizona. And now you're in Phoenix, right? And you could travel around, and let's say you're a property either owner, or you're a contract holder, or you're a wholesaler. I don't know the addresses by heart in Phoenix, but I'm assuming that one of these properties are, and this again, the hypothetical situation, this is one of your properties. You can literally take your thumb, and this is one of our main features called a FlippBidd One Touch feature. You could actually take your thumb, click on any property in our system, and you can request data on it. And when you hit the request data button, this is where the magic happens, right? Once the property pulls up, you're able to click on the view property and do one of many different things. You could click on the street view by clicking on the picture and make sure you're on the right block and you find the property. And here you go. This is it. Let's say if I was a wholesaler, I would probably have a tremendous amount of pictures. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot, which every smartphone nowadays can do. I'm going to take a screenshot, and I'm going to show you why I'm doing this in a second, and crop it. Hit the done button on top, save it to my phone, save it to photos. Now go click on the back button to go back to my page. This is the property details page. This is where I get to see the basic property information, right? You get to see all the sales comps, including the ARVs, ARV high, average, and low, not just the ARV. Comps around that area, right? That's within a 1 mile radius with like properties, beds, baths, square footage, and so on. Mortgage data in regards to ownership, mailing addresses, what was the last transaction date, how much equity the property has, any foreclosure information. So they have a loan with State Farm Bank, no judgment amount, they're not in foreclosure. And let's look at MLS history. It's last 1 year, it's not listed. So if I was to go ahead and just do some research on this property, and I saw that this was intriguing because maybe the deal came across my desk, maybe the lead came through my email, or I saw it somewhere, but I wanted to research it, I would use FlippBidd to do that. But now the beautiful part about this is, let's say this is a deal from scratch and you want to make a deal with a homeowner. Well, you got the homeowner's information, you just got to figure out how to call them. Well, how do you do that? When you go to your profile button right here, when you click on it, it's going to take you to your user controls. Your user controls consist of many different things: my visits, my connections, my uploads, support, and settings. Every time you virtually visit a property on our application, it shows up in your My Visits list. What does that look like? Let's click on here. And this is where you can skip trace all your data. So all the ones you skip trace end up in the top. The ones you have it are on the bottom. Here's our property we were just looking at. You could select one, or you could select all and then hit skip trace and export that out. But for today's purposes, we're just going to select one and show you how to make that deal with that homeowner, because you got the homeowner's information, you got the information on the equity and the mortgage. Let's just skip traces. So we're going to check that. We're going to hit the skip trace button, hit the OK. And by the way, this comes with the application. There's no extra fee for it, because that question always comes up, as Patrick mentioned. So it populates to the top of your list. Let's go ahead and crunch some numbers before we call them. So there's an ROI calculator on the side where you can put in your selling price, what the ARV is. We'll pull it for you, or you can just manually put it in. What your credit is like, because this is important, because our lenders will let you know, listen, you're approved, you're not approved, and so on. What down payment you're looking to put down, what the acquisition price is, because of course, acquisition price isn't always the selling price. The seller can ask whatever they want, but you're acquiring for a different price. If there's a sales concession, any closing costs, what interest that you're paying currently with your lender, or what you expect to pay, how many months you look to hold on to the property, construction costs, and so on. So once you run a quick and dirty ROI calculator, you can go back, click on the skip trace information, or do it after. It's up to you. There's no logic behind this. It's just what makes sense to you. Now, if you notice, we got some skip trace information. So let's see what that looks like. So for Antonio Morales, we have 4 phone numbers. Now, do we have to leave the application to make that phone call? No. Only thing is, it didn't pull up the email addresses, because yes, we also pull, if it's in public records, email addresses as well. And it works the same way. You just click, call, click, call, click, call, and it just dials out for you. And the email works the same way. So that's our skip tracing feature. Now, going back to some of our user controls, for a lot of people out there that have been either solicited or been contacted or tried to, have someone network with you in regards to coming on their buyer's list, they always ask you the same thing, right? What's your buy box? You're an investor. What's your buy box? My answer to that is, my buy box changes day to day, and depending on my mood and depending on the economy and the economic climate. So if I am cash heavy today and I'm interested in buying a mixed use property or a multifamily property, it's going to change based on what's happening in my in real time, right? Your buy box also should change, and we allow you to tell everybody in our network what your buy box is. So if you get a verified investor license, you can now click on this little button. It's called the Find My Deal feature, which is our buy box feature. Find My Deal. You can let everybody know. And for those of you guys that have downloaded the application, you're going to be in for a treat, because I'm going to let everybody on this call that's downloaded the application know that I'm looking for a single family. I'm looking for a subject to deal. Yes, you can look for subject twos. I'm looking for $200,000 to $300,000, and we'll stick to Phoenix, Arizona, right? And guess what? This is not a one-to-one system. This is a live, real-time notification system that allows you to, did I lose Phoenix? Where are we?
You're looking for Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah, I'm looking for Phoenix. Sorry. Thank you. So here's Arizona, and I'm looking for somewhere in Phoenix. So I'm going to hit the send request button. Okay. Once I hit the send request button, you should get notified, and they'll tell you your Find My Deal feature message has been sent to FlippBidd community in Arizona. FlippBidd will notify you when a new deal is uploaded that fits your search. What are we doing here? We are basically connecting everybody for acquisitions, dispositions, buying and selling in real time, because you only know who you know, right? But with technology, you have now a much larger reach, right? Out of state, in state, and so on. And now you can be notified. You might notify the right person, because as Phil mentioned, in the last 3 months, we've had 1,600 downloads. Yeah, we have 600 or 700 registered, active users, but that community is growing, right? So why not let them know if you're in the market for a property? Because someone out there may have something, and instead of them putting you on a buyer's list and then sending a giant email list for buyers, right? Sending you an email via Constant Contact or MailChimp and that ending up in your spam. our notifications don't end up in spam. You get notified. It's up to you to check them if you want. It's up to you if you don't, but they'll be on your phone. And you wholesalers out there, please know that you can actually communicate with people across state lines, one to many in one shot as well. When you upload a property, how do we do that? That's the disposition part. So anybody out there, and I'll take a question and I'll ask someone out there, does anybody have a property that they have a contract for, or maybe a deal that came across their desk that we could use as a use case here for dispositions? And I promise you, I know you guys worked hard at this, so I'll make sure that we delete it right after we're done. Anybody got a property? Raise your hand. I'll let Patrick or Phil know.
Tyler says yes. Tyler, do you want to unmute yourself and give us that address, and we'll go ahead and view that property?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hey,
I
Tyler,
hear you
we can
loud
hear
and
you.
clear, Tyler.
Okay, perfect. Let me find the address again real quick.
Take your time.
It's in Kentucky. Yeah, it's in Kentucky.
Okay. So
And this one I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if you wanted to just leave it up too. I need to disposition this still.
Awesome.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me tell you, Tyler. Do you want your I charge money for that, right? So you want me to broker a deal for you? I'm more than happy to do that. But I think you'll be happier when people contact you directly, and I'll show you how they're going to do that right after we put it up. So we got a bunch of deals in Louisville, but go ahead, give me that address and we'll put it up.
So it's 2885 Gunsmoke Trail.
Elm Smoke?
Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke. Trail. Okay.
Trailway Bowling Green, that one right there at the top.
Okay. All right, here we go. We found it. So FlippBidd found the property. We're going to do the same thing. It's rinse and repeat. Request the data. Okay, we weren't able to pull data on that property for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more of a desolate area. I mean, this one we were able to pull. Let me just try one more time here. For some reason, it's not pulling data on this particular property. Let's try it again. Oh, okay, it pulled it. By the way, guys, it's technology. It's not perfect. I'm just letting you guys know. Don't give up on pinning the property if it doesn't pull to some in the right away. Sometimes all you got to do, and I figured this out the hard way, you just got to like maneuver around the map. It works on a latitude longitude line with the mapping system. Just repin it. It should be able to pull the property data. And if you want to double check that, I just showed you, check the property next to it. If that data is pulling, more than likely it'll pull for the property, the subject property. So here you go. Tyler, it looks like it's a 4-bed, 2-bath, lot size 8276. I'm gonna click on the details. I'm assuming it's this gray house, beautiful gray house right here.
Yep, that's it.
All right, so I'm assuming you have pictures. I don't, so I'm going to take a snapshot of this. By the way, you guys could do this as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and crop that, save it to my photos, go back, look at the property information. Weren't able to put building square footage, but it does have a lot, does have the property tax, does have the ARV high, average, and low. Here's some comps around that. Comps look like around mid 2s to high 2s. What are you selling that for, Tyler? About 230?
No, 288. It's a sub 2. It's only like $20,000 entry fee.
Got it. It's a sub 2 deal. So great. That was my next question. So I'm not going to go into the mortgage data because I don't want anybody taking Tyler's deal away from them. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to dispo this deal, Tyler. So I'm going to delete this, but for your purposes, or anybody want to take a wild guess, because we like to keep this interactive with everyone. How do we sell this deal? What button do we press?
Sell my deal.
Excellent. Excellent. Phil, give Tyler a 7-day free trial. I'm going to go ahead and click on sell my deal, and we're going to go in, and Tyler is most likely going to have some pictures of this property. So we give you the ability to attach a Google Drive link, and this is really cool. And I always suggest you guys don't skip this over, because here is the power in this. When you click when you add your Google Drive or pictures and videos, it gives you a lot of leverage with investors to show them what the property's condition is currently. So we're going to go ahead and add one for demo purposes. Here's my folder. Here's all the JPEGs and MP4s, right? Yes, you can add videos. So yes, this is not your property, Tyler, but I'm going to show you what you can actually show everybody once it's downloaded. Give me a second. Let me just add that in there. Continue. I apologize. Here you go. Done. Added 280, I believe Tyler was saying. And it is a subject to deal. What's the entry price, Tyler?
20,286 is the price that I'm selling it.
Entry price is 20,000. And what's the interest rate?
5.5.
Got it. Hi, I have an amazing deal in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's a subject to with the entry fee being 20,000 at a 5.25 interest rate. Connect with me on FlippBidd, and I'll tell you more information via chat or call. Yes, we allow voice notes in day and time of AI where everyone thinks they're connected to some robot or a database somewhere out there in the cloud. We still want to hear your voice, and so do other buyers and sellers. So you can leave a 15-second voice note. It sounds short. We are increasing that to 30 seconds, so you'll be able to put a little bit more detail into your offering. And now here goes your property image, your main image. You can add up to 5, but that's why I took that screenshot. You added, you could add up to 4 more. You left the voice note. You could sell it to our entire network, which is, I don't care if you're a buyer, I don't care if you're a seller, I don't care if you're a broker or an agent, I don't care who you are, savvy investor or the average Jane and John Doe that's looking for their first investment. I want to sell you this deal. Let's make a deal. Or to a verified investor. We have a vetting process. The vetting process is fairly simple. When you download the application and you're setting up your profile, it'll tell you, would you like to request a verified investor license? It's free, but yes, you have to be vetted. It shouldn't take you more than 60 seconds. It asks you for, who you are, how much capital you have on hand, what your track record is like, and what areas are you interested in. And my man Phil back there is going to take it over and basically activate your license, and it'll be activated after being vetted within the hour. But it's up to you who you want to sell it to. But if you want to sell it to a verified investor, it says automatically you have to hold a contract of sale. So for now, we're going to click on entire network. And now it's optional, but we're going to say, yes, I'm going to act as if I'm Tyler. Yes, I hold a contract, hit the upload button. And basically you're saying that by clicking the OK button, you acknowledge and agree to all state, federal, local real estate laws, in addition to FlippBidd's terms and conditions. Okay. It basically says that you're liable for the content you're uploading. So please don't violate these laws. But Tyler is an upstanding individual. He has the deal. Let's click the OK button. And even though he did a lot of talking, if you weren't explaining this, it should take you no longer than 30 seconds. And when you're done uploading this, here's Tyler's deal. Here's the voice note. And this is what I wanted to show you. That property photos and documents, guess what? It's going to connect people right to your video images and pictures. So now people know, and I'm not leaving the phone. This is going through the application. People are viewing your video walkthroughs of your property from across state line. So when you speak to them, the first thing you should ask is, I see that you saw our property. Did you get a chance to do the walkthrough? Oh, how did I do that? Well, did you get a chance to view the videos, the pictures? Do you have any questions in regards to the condition? Because that always happens, right? You got an open house, people come in. Now you expect people to come in. The first thing they said, well, I wasn't expecting it to be in this condition. I thought it was in a better neighborhood. Well, they have all the data. Like, you should be telling them that data is available for you for a reason, right? Those pictures, those videos are available for you for a reason, because this application is technology. It does one of 3 things: helps you save time, save money, save energy, or one of the 3, or all of the above, right? That's what technology is supposed to do. So with that, it's going to help you save time and energy because you have all your information there, by the way, which doesn't end up in a spam folder, because God knows I get about 400 deals a week from wholesalers. I don't view them. I'm not even interested in like some of these towns, but they keep doing it anyway. With our technology, there is no spam folder. Okay. You're dealing with real estate professionals like you guys out there. You're dealing with people that actually want to do business. We are, Big Brother is watching. So if anyone is putting up some nonsense, right, we'll take it down. And by the way, you can red flag them. Yes, there's a way to red flag your deal. So with that said, that's a high level view of dispositions. Again, you have plenty of controls out here for my connections, and that would be the next thing. How do I keep in touch with people? Well, looks like Mika Oriental called me, and I could just message her back, right, and say, hi Mika, missed your call. Missed your call is probably because I was busy today. Please message me back. This is a real person. I don't know who Mika is. I'm sure it's in regards to one of our deals. And messaging works the same way as I showed you. So here's your messages. Here's Mika. When you upload properties, people get notified in real time. When people view your properties, you get notified in real time. When you put it under contract, let's say you go to my uploads, when you put it under my contract, and by the way, here's your controls. If anybody's wondering, that's that little the three buttons. You hit the three buttons, you can mark it under contract, and you'll get people when that get notified that the property is now under contract, and you'll see a big red banner populate under contract. You want to go ahead and delete it, you can delete it, but you can also share it, right? Maybe you're not the buyer. Maybe you ran into this deal that you have a friend or a colleague that's also investing in a specific area. Very easy to use. Hit the share button, send it via text, send it via email, send it via chat, WhatsApp. Here you go. Here, and then you go. Once you sent it out, it's gone. It looks like a regular text going out to your buddy with a picture. FlippBidd Network shared a property. It only shows FlippBidd Network because that's what I'm registered as. But it could just show up as your name. And you could share those properties. You could do, you could basically delete the property, which I am going to do, by the way, Tyler. So once you delete the property, it's gone, it's out of your system. By the way, we don't keep obsolete deals or outdated deals on our network. The application works in a way where if the deal is sitting around for over 90 days, on the 90th day, it will get deleted. You have every right to re-upload the property, or you can just, like I said, mark it under contract if it goes up for sale. So with that said, that was like a quick and dirty demo. I usually tend to take a little bit more time, but last time we got caught up because there was a lot of questions. So I want to make time for you guys. Thank you.
Can I interrupt you for a sec?
Yes.
Quick question or quick comment on the verified investor. The reason you created that was to avoid the daisy chains, so that if you see somebody uploads a property on the app, you know that person is the contract holder, is the actual seller. So that's number one. Number two, Ken, what's a really neat feature on FlippBidd is if somebody's a verified investor, they get put on the map. Could you show that to the folks here on the webinar?
Sure. So a couple of perks. So we already showed you one, right? The Find My Deal feature, which is the buy box that's only available to verified investors. Two, this application is about networking, guys. So of course you're going to start seeing people in your respective neighborhoods. I know this is Matt Marinoff, and he's got a big name for himself, right? He's the short sale king in New Jersey. I know that's him because he's always around there. So Matt's on here, right? And just to name a couple others, we got Dan Satovsky. For those of you guys don't know Dan, he's a hitter in the industry, right? So Dan's on there. And I can, by the way, click the sell my deal button, send Dan a text, an in-app notification, and an email because I just want to deal with Dan. Not everybody can do that. You have to have a verified investor license to be able to do that, or you have to hold a contract of sale to be able to sell to a verified investor, which avoids daisy chains, right? We'll go even out to, Dallas and see our friend Bryce McKinley. Bryce is on here, right? 5 Hour Home Buyers, big hitter out there, big wholesaling operation. And so, yeah, we only launched 3 months ago. But guys, let me tell you, we have the cream of the crop and even the new guys that are coming in, which are even more important to us, by the way, because we built this application for the guys, you guys out there that are just getting into the industry, learning, trying to understand where to start, how to source deals, how to just get the data quickly, do some research, maybe do a little skip tracing and just network with each other, right? Because there's a lot of you out there and we want to help. So, and everybody in between. So the application really does apply a little bit to everybody. And by the way, here is our assistant. It'll help you navigate from city to city. Hey, Flip, take me to Miami Beach, Florida.
Finding.
So while Flip takes us to Miami Beach, Florida, you know, there's a lot of things we're building into here, guys. And by the way, before I forget, Patrick, let me not, sorry, it's running a little slow here. There's a
Yes.
lot of features that we're adding, and this is why we put this up. We just partnered up with, there you go, take me to Miami Beach. Plenty of deals out there, right? Here's Miami. You go look in the outskirts, and here's a bunch of deals in Miami going all the way up to North Miami. Sorry, guys, my internet's a little slow, but you can get the hint here. And going all the way into, you know, Orlando area with a lot more. There you go. See, once you go in, the deals will populate. I want to go ahead and show you this. This is really special because we're all here because of Drew Carrell, you know, and Patrick being the coordinator of this event. We are partnering up with LEADZOLO for a reason, because up till now, guys, everything I showed you has been about acquisitions, research, and data. Now, with the new version, you guys are going to be in for a treat. Not only are we integrating LEADZOLO, and I'll show you some screens because we're not going live with this until September, but we are adding map filters, right, that allow you to pull regular deals, verified investor deals, look for all verified investors nationally, and LEADZOLO deals. And we'll see what happens. We have space for a couple other lead aggregators, right? And actually will be the lead aggregators, but other lead generation companies. And you can go ahead and search in your respective areas. And now what can you do? We can go actually, you know what? I actually show you this because I have a version, a test version. Yeah, I have a test version. That's right. This is the new version. You won't see it. So here is, it's not live yet. It's still in beta. We're testing it out, but we're looking to launch it in September. Here's your map controls, which weren't on the other version. You'll be able to populate whatever you like, whatever deals you like, and so on. Here is your Polygon search filter. How does that work? Well, we're going to click on it. By the way, don't mind, we're just still testing this out. So if you go here and you see that there's like a little pin here on the screen, you can literally pin anywhere in the country, right, that you live in, right? So let's say you want to pin Maryland, for example, somewhere in Maryland. Let's call it, you know, in Washington, D.C. You could pin that area. You'll be able to drag these out, okay, the polygon edges, and then hit the search button. And within that area, now you can not only get motivated seller leads, but you can, powered by Orion, which is now that's going to be our new assistant. Orion will pull every notice of default, list pendants, pre-foreclosure, and tax delinquencies. And that list is growing, by the way. We're getting into estate deals, which are probate deals, divorcee deals, zombie homes, vacant homes, right? And so we're working on this to roll this out for lead generation. And soon you'll be able to actually click on any property in America, right? And be able to pull. Let's just go into something in our backyard here. I'm going to go to a random home. I apologize if I'm making you dizzy here. So we'll just go into a random home and you'll be able to click, put your finger on a property, not only request data, but now Orion's going to ask you, what do you want to do? Do you guys want to do acquisitions? Do you guys want to do dispositions, research and data? Or would you like to get some pro services on this property? Well, let's see what happens when you click on that. Right now, like I said, we're integrating lenders for you guys. So if you have a property on hand, you either own it, you're looking to own it, you're looking to close on it, you can go ahead and request multiple loans for these deals, whether it's a fix and flip, rental, down payment, DSCR, construction, bridge, conventional, FHA, and it goes on and on and on, and put in some basic information at the submit button. And you're going to get either a pre-approval or you're going to be contacted with the lender in that respective area to talk about your options. So there's a lot of things we're building here, guys. And by the way, I meant what I said. we have now only 200 lifetime licenses left. We have to eventually start generating some sort of revenue for the company. We wanted to give them away because we wanted to go ahead and grow out the community. Phil, what did we start off with? How many licenses?
Yeah, so we started off originally with 500 licenses. So it was 500 licenses ending in November 5th, and whichever came first. And apparently, these licenses are actually flying off the shelf with 200 left.
Yeah, and so I wanted to put this out there because, guys, this is a tremendous turnout. And everybody that wasn't able to make it today, they're going to get a copy of this recording, by the way, with that QR code behind me, right? That QR code leads everybody to a download link for Drew Carrell. You'll be able to take advantage of that $49.99 a month license. The price is going up in September to $149.99 on App Store and Google Play. Even if you are affiliated with somebody, or if you were referred by somebody or one of our affiliates, it's still $109.99. And that is going to be the price because we have built a tremendous amount of technology into this thing. But you can still get it for $49.99. It's first come, first serve. And once they're gone, they're gone. We have to start now becoming some sort of profitable company. We're more than happy to give away licenses or do it at cost, but we've been working on this for a long time, and I think that time is coming very soon, especially with all the new integrations. But with that said, that's my demo, guys. We're doing some phenomenal things, and we're super excited to get the web app out by end of the year, hopefully no later than early Q1 2025. So with that said, Patrick, maybe we'll take some.
I can't let you end without you pointing out. And guys, listen to this. Don't leave. If you're about ready to leave, don't leave. What you're about to hear, I think, is going to blow you guys away. Can you please talk about the virtual open houses and what you'll be integrating in the near future regarding that?
Yeah, so the one really cool thing about our technology versus all of our competitors, I don't care if I'll mention the names, it's no secret, right? Like the privies, the batch leads, the pins, the investor lifts or whatever it is, right? They can't do what we do. The reason why they can't do what we do is we've given you the control in the palm of your hand for dispositions, acquisitions, and data research, right? And now, on top of all that, on top of the distressed property searches, on top of that, the 10xing your search by clicking on a property and then outlining all your LEADZOLO leads, motivated sellers, by searching one property but locating 10 of them. That's phenomenal enough. But we are working on an amazing technology which will be able to be available at a higher ticket price, but you'll be able to do virtual tours with your phone, be able to set a time and date of your property that you're looking to show virtually. Investors will be able to RSVP on their phones that tour on our live stream, just like we're doing now, one to many. When they RSVP, the tour will start. The application will let you know the tour is starting. You could be forget about 20 miles away. You could be 20 states away and be able to see that property. And just for viewing that property, just for attending and completing, you don't get it before, you get it after. For completing that tour, you will get a full. We're dealing with CoreLogic, Data Tree, and also LexisNexis. For those of you guys don't know what those are, they're some of the biggest data providers, as well as property report providers in America. And just for attending that RSVPing that tour, not only does the wholesaler or seller get that report, but you'll also get that report for RSVPing and viewing that property. So you can make a more sound, more educated decision on that investment after viewing the property virtually, from the comfort of your sofa, drinking a coffee on a nice Sunday morning instead of driving in torrential downpour and missing time with your kids. So I think it's a substantial amount of features built into this. I know Patrick loves that virtual tour, and it's going to be a big one. And we're very excited about it. So with that said, I mean, it's, I could go on and on in regards to what we're going to build, Patrick, but that's definitely on the horizon and not too long out.
Thanks, Ken. By the way, for those that are with us, please feel free to unmute yourself if you've got a question. I'm going to go through some of the questions, Ken, that people asked here. One of them was, is there a way to keep the address private? I think maybe you want to address that point and why you don't want to do this, and what's the whole idea of this is to connect with other investors. So you might want to answer that, please.
Yeah. So number one, you cannot keep the address private because you're searching for properties based on the latitude longitude line. The latitude longitude line is a place and point on Earth, pretty much, that focuses on a section block or block and lot in that area. Two, I don't know why you would want to keep it private. Because to be honest with you, and I'll give you a real example. We get deals all the time, and sometimes those emails that come into spam come with the address XX55 Main Street, City, State, right? And by the way, if I just search for those two numbers and that city, that street, and that city and state on my application, I'm going to be able to view the property right from the street view, and I'll be able to find it. So it's not really, you're doing yourself a disservice, because most investors aren't going to entertain your deal just simply because you have a picture. Because most investors out there, and I know this on a personal level, they're going to say, "Can I get the address so I can do my due diligence?" Nobody's going to want to communicate with anybody. I think if that's what you want to do, that's absolutely okay. We don't allow it technology wise. And we just, that's not our business, right? We want full disclosure, and we want full, full transparency with each other.
Thanks, Ken. There's another question from Kelly. Can you add more users on your account for my team?
Can we add more users on your team? So Kelly, I'm assuming you have some sort of acquisition a team or a disposition team that you would like for them to use this application. Now, are you asking about like a corporate account, or are you asking how do we just go ahead and get them signed up and registered? You can speak up, guy. Don't be shy.
Kelly may not be with us, but do you want to answer that question anyhow for everyone else's, so that everyone else is
Yeah.
aware?
So we are going to be able to create an enterprise version, which is for those folks out there that have a bigger operation, and that's going to be rolled out once we have the web app, because the application is specific to your device, even though you can have multiple users on multiple devices, and you can still set up your incoming phone number to one single phone number. The messaging is going to still come to the individual phone. So it just doesn't make sense. So each user would need their own account. But at the end of the day, if you're able to take advantage of that 200, even at 109.99, I mean, with a URL or Drew's URL, I think it's substantial, especially if you're looking to utilize this platform for multiple reasons.
And by the way, I do have to mention this. Victor LaRosa uploaded a property. I believe he uploaded it when you started, and he sent me, just got a voicemail on my property. So within, I guess, less than an hour, somebody's inquiring about the property he uploaded. Excellent.
Thanks for uploading, Victor. We appreciate your involvement, and thank you for being a part of the community.
Ken, do you want to mention if somebody uploads two properties, or what you will be offering those that are in the webinar tonight?
Yeah, so guys, we were doing that, but we're still offering something sort of like that. If you guys do not want to have any restrictions on it, it is free to download and use. That was absolutely true. There is no credit card required. That was absolutely true. But after 10 searches on properties, 10 skip traces, 10 request datas, right, it will stop you and say, listen, your credits have ran out during your free trial. Please update to the pro license. But if you want no restrictions for all you wholesalers out there, just upload 10 properties. We just activated a full 30-day license for 2 users over the last few days. They had 10 properties. They uploaded them in like 1 day. They took them like, I think like an hour to upload 10 of them. We'll give you a full 30-day license. I think that's what Patrick is pertaining to.
Yes, Ken, thanks.
Yes, no problem, Patrick. Yeah, so it's 10 deals. And you know what? People have them. They have 10 deals, and they're like, yeah, we'll take it for 30 days. I think there's a few more questions coming in.
Yes,
Phil,
Jess
Patrick.
want to know how LEADZOLO is related to FlippBidd. I think maybe Jess may have joined us a little bit late, but nonetheless, do you want to explain what LEADZOLO has to do with FlippBidd?
Sure. So, as you guys know, LeadZolo has a tremendous amount of leads nationally. From what I understand, after speaking to Drew and just doing some strategizing and kind of brainstorming behind this and how we're going to integrate and make this useful for you guys, he told me he gets about 20,000 motivated seller leads monthly. Monthly. Even if you break that down to every major city or tier 1, tier 2 city, that's still hundreds of deals in every major city on a monthly basis, hundreds. How do we fix that? So Drew, as amazing of a human being he is, and an amazing product that he has with these leads and motivated sellers, which, by the way, this is not a joke, guys. Everyone has leads, as it says in the back, but only one has the seller under lock, right? So he has them ready to go. They've already raised their hands. How do we get those leads in front of you guys? Very easily. So when you go ahead, and moving forward in September, you may not know those motivated sellers are even in your neighborhood. But let's use an example. When you click a property anywhere in your respective market, and you either put the search in on the address bar or click on acquisitions and click on motivated seller leads in the neighborhood and then hit request the data, not only will it find the property on the data, but it'll outline every LeadZolo lead. It's not doing it now because it's a beta. It'll outline all the like properties based on the subject property you search for, and within a 3-mile radius of motivated sellers that are looking to connect with you. And then we're going to connect you directly to those leads through LeadZolo. I hope that answers the question.
Thanks, Ken. By the way, Ken, and this was a couple of people asked this question. I know you mentioned that the skip tracing is free, it's part of the cost. However, some people mentioned, can they do unlimited skip tracing? Could you answer to them why you wouldn't want to do this on this platform? What's the whole idea behind FlippBidd and why that wouldn't apply in this situation?
Sure. So there's a lot of companies out there, by the way, that do phenomenal stuff with their technology with skip tracing. Some of those are like Deal Machine and just to name a few, and there's a couple others that do that, and they're like, we give you 15,000 skip traces every year or 15,000 a month. So I don't know how many of you out there do 15,000 skip traces a month, but that takes an exorbitant amount of time. So while you're skip tracing 15,000 leads, I wonder who's actually making the phone calls and making the deals. You guys should be making the deals, right? And if you guys are making the deals, you probably need VAs or some sort of formal technology or AI to make these phone calls and extract that data and do all that stuff. So that all costs money. So yeah, Deal Machine may be somewhere between $200 and $400 based on the amount of thousands and thousands of skip traces you could do. We do not do that. Our application works for the individual that had a deal that kind of came across the table, a deal they're looking to research, a property they're driving by in real time, and they decided to pull over and it's boarded up, and they just plug it in. You're allowed to get up to, with the pro license, 100 skip traces a month. Now, if you're getting 100 deals for skip tracing, that's, on top of the distressed property searches, on top of the LeadZolo leads, that's a tremendous amount of lead generation. Now, we're not a skip tracing company, but we also cover a lot of buckets that skip tracing companies don't cover. So it's like saying, hey, are we going to be allowed to do unlimited skip tracing for $49.99? Absolutely not. It costs money. Just because we don't charge you doesn't mean they don't charge us, our data company. So we limit it at 100 per month. We are going to have a higher Pro Plus license coming out in a few months. That might be around the 250 number, but it's going to have a lot more features and functions and a lot more usage out of that.
Thanks, Ken. I appreciate that. I believe you've answered the questions that are
No,
here in
I
the
think
chat.
there's one that's missing. Larry was asking anyone to network in Orange County, California. So I'll actually answer that one.
Thanks.
Because I actually spoke to a wholesaler in California the other day, and he has a whole bunch of friends who wholesales within California. And that will be coming online soon. I believe he's going to be joining one of our demos. I think sometime in September, and he should be on board, and you'll definitely start to see things pop up there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
So I do want to add to that a little bit, guys. So just keep in mind the question that you're asking is, hey, do we have full coverage in every single market, every single city, and a tremendous amount of it? We weren't even nearly this close when we launched 3 months ago. Now, because it is a community-based application, Phil is absolutely right. As we're introducing this application to you guys out there that are basically powering our application, buyers, sellers, investors, brokers, wholesalers alike, as we're speaking to them, we're giving them tremendous amount of support to do what they need to do, and they're absolutely eating this thing up. They love it. You know why they love it? Because they're like, this is so easy. Why do I need 5 different applications to do what I need to do while I'm driving on the road, or I'm going to go see a property? I can just do it on the fly. And they love it. And the fact that we offer them a full 30-day license to upload 10 deals, they do it right away. And it's like a domino effect, right? And it's like a flywheel. One person triggers another action that triggers another action that triggers another action. And that's how this community keeps going, because we keep putting and empowering our users with the right tools that keep everyone connected, and it's just growing exponentially. So if the deal isn't available in your market, it soon will, especially with LEADZOLO. Another big shout out to Drew. So with LEADZOLO, if that property's in there, well, you're going to be able to find a ton of motivated sellers out there that you could just click on.
I just want to piggyback on what you just said, Ken. By the way, guys, if you download the app, you can use it for free. If you hold off and you wait a couple of days or a couple of weeks, the app will still notify you when properties come up on the market, come onto the market in your area. So you don't even need to upgrade from the free license to get those notifications. Obviously, if you get, a dozen notifications, you're going to want to go ahead and upgrade so you can get access to them. So just wanted to point that out, Ken. There's a great question that Ahmad asked. He said, if we get the lifetime license, will we be getting all the future features that come even in a higher tier plan that you'll be releasing in the future? Maybe you want to explain the difference between the Pro license and the Pro Plus that will be coming out.
Yeah, the 49, great question. So the 49.99 version is going to have all of these features. It's just limited to how many times you can use it. The higher price plan has a lot more usage. The Pro license, which we're offering for 49.99, is in fact going to be $149 a month through App Store and Google Play. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of theirs, but I need them because we can't place our product on any other shelf. They kind of monopolize the industry. But if you have a URL, right, just like you have here, right, with Drew's QR code, even then in September when we roll this out, unfortunately, I wish I could just keep doing this for free. It does cost us a lot of money with keeping server space and keep growing and developer costs and all that stuff. We'll give away the 49.99 license for now, the last 200 licenses that are left, but it's only for the Pro license, not for the additional other licenses now.
But the Pro license does have all the features, as you
Yes.
mentioned. It's a matter of, as you mentioned, just to reiterate, it's the amount of usage that, the amount of skip traces and what have you that you can do.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. I think with that, we've covered everyone. Does anybody want to unmute themselves? Is there a question that you're just dying to ask? I'd like to see if you can go ahead and unmute yourself. If not, then I think this is, Ken, a wrap. Thank you so much, Ken, for the presentation. Phil, thank you so much. where you're going to see the integration of LEADZOLO here. LEADZOLO and FlippBidd are going to be working as partners. So you'll be hearing more about FlippBidd from Drew Carrell. We're really honored and excited to have him on as a business partner, you know, as a partner on FlippBidd. With that said, Ken, I think now it's a wrap. So I think there's one question. No, actually, Phil just posted something. I think it is a wrap. So, folks, thank you so much for spending the hour with us this afternoon. If you have any questions when you're on FlippBidd, you can reach support. You can also, Ken, you want to talk about real quick before we end about your Q&A that you do on a monthly basis. You are welcome to come into the Q&A. Ken calls it his open mic night, where you can kind of shoot the breeze with Ken, and it's a little bit more informal meeting. Thank you. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, hey guys, listen, I don't like to talk about technology all the time, believe it or not. You know, for those of you guys that are still with me here, I'm a dad of two, I'm a fiance of one. I'm a human being just like everybody else. I like my Sunday football. I can't wait until the season starts. But so I like to get to meet everybody because like I want to get to know who you guys are. So guess what we do? Not only do we have an open Zoom demo that you could access right through your application on any Wednesday night, but last Wednesday, coming in 2 days from now, check your emails. An open mic night. Not only do we talk to each other, but I allow you guys to talk to each other that's on there and network with each other, because you know what? You guys have a lot more to bring than just me, right? You guys have something special that you guys can share with each other, and that's how our community is going to grow. And I like to think that's the best part of this application in this community. So with that said, I really appreciate everybody taking the time today. Thank you so much, guys. Patrick, Phil, everybody that's on there. I mean, wow, what a turnout. We look
It was
forward to
wonderful. It was wonderful. Guys, thank you so much. I'm going to hold off for just a second. I don't want to leave Greg with this question unanswered. And guys, just give us Ken will explain this to you, Greg, in a couple of minutes. Can you quickly discuss the verified investor license? Greg may have joined in a little later. Real quick, if you can do the nutshell version of what the verified investor license is and what it's all about.
Sure. So our users, guys, on our application, some of them may not worry so much about this, but a lot of them want to deal with the principals, the buyers, not their buyers reps. They want to deal with actual investors. We have a way of vetting that. The way we vet that is when you put a request through your profile page, when you download the app, hit the request verified investor license. It should take you no longer than 60 seconds with your track record and basic information. When you do that, my guy Phil right there, my COO, he's going to go ahead and activate your license. Once you're there, you're going to get a little ID on the map, which will basically show that you are a verified investor like this. Let me just see if it's pop. Oh, you know why? I'm looking at the beta version. Here you go. That looks much better. You'll get a little verified investor ID card where everyone can actually sell you a deal directly one-to-one, where you'll get a text and email as well as an in-app notification. Plus, you'll get a sell my deal feature, which is your buy box. Very, very helpful. So I know that it's running late, so I just ran through that question. Thank you for asking. But guys, really, we can't wait for you guys to check this thing out. Download it. If you don't like it, delete it. Use it. But as long as you download it, it'll always notify you with off-market deals, whether you're a paid client or not. Just have it installed, save it in your app, save it in your phone. It'll notify you when new deals populate on a day-to-day. And that's free. It costs you nothing.
Thank you. With that said, Ken, now it is a wrap. So it's been wonderful. Thank you so much for the presentation. Folks, thank you for spending an hour this evening. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon or evenings, depending where you are in the country. And we'll be talking soon, I hope.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Bye-bye.